Good afternoon. What I'm going to be covering today is Chapter 1, Section 4, talking about equations and inequalities. Let's start by identifying what an equation is. Okay, we're going to talk about equations. Equation is any number or open sentence that actually contains the word or the symbol of an equal sign. Then you have the inequality, which is also an open sentence that contains the symbols less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. As you have seen in the past couple chapters, we have talked about doing sentences, and we would have something that was basically established that would look something like this: a plus 6. Okay. Well, with that particular sentence, it does not have an equal sign, nor does it have an inequality. You cannot solve this particular problem without having the value for a given to you. So basically what you are looking at is now, in order for this to make a situation that would be an inequality, I could say equals 5. Now that makes that sentence solvable. Okay? Couple key things to look at here. Expressing the open sentences. There are several things that you need to look at. For example, looking at number 1 here, you have this symbol right here, which is an actual equal sign. So when you're looking at this, you would say A is equal to B. Or you can also say A is the same as B. Number 2, you'll notice that it's saying less than. So the first thing that we're going to fill in, A is less than B. And A can also be, I accidentally wrote the word here, but fewer than B. The main thing to remember here is that we're not talking about alligators anymore. You need to learn the number sentences and what words are used to make sure you write the number sentence correct. So the next one, number 3, we have A is less than or equal to B. So A is less than or equal to, so I'm going to say equal to B. Or we can say that A is at most than B. Oops, put it in the wrong spot. My apologies. A is at most B. And A is also no more than B. Same thing applies for 4 and 5. Here you have A is greater than B, and you also would say at this particular time A is more than B. And last but not least, number 5, A is greater than or equal to B. And the last couple, A is more than B. And also A is at least and no less than B. Those are your inequality signs. We're talking about writing equations with inequalities. Okay? So we're looking at this particular problem here. We're down here where it says writing equations. Again, you have an open sentence and they want you to actually put it in a equation. So it says A, the sum of 3 times a number t and 4 is 25. Okay, we say the sum, so we know we're going to be adding. So the first thing we're going to do is say add. And it's telling me that I have 3 times the number t. So I'm going to add 3t, 3 times t. And it says to 4, so I'm going to put 4 on the other side, is. Is here, it means an equal sign, 25. B, the quotient of a number x and 4 is fewer than 10. So quotient, we're talking about division. I'm going to use a division sign here instead of the slash, but I'll write it both ways, but the first time I'll do it this way. So what you have is the quotient of x and 4. So you're saying x divided by 4, okay? Or you can write it x over 4, meaning the same thing. Then it says is fewer than. What we're looking at here is fewer than. So if we look at that particular word is fewer than, we know from up top here where the definitions were, that means it's actually less than. So what I will do is my less than sign and then put 10. Same thing on this side. I just put the less than sign and then actually put 10. C, a number n is greater than 6. Oops, sorry, wind blew my page. A number n is greater than 6 and less than 12. So what they're saying, we can go say, okay, n would be greater than, so we would actually put the sign this way in the middle, and we would put 6, so the alligator's eating the n, so that means it's greater than, and it's also less than, so it'd be smaller than the number 12. Now you have an opportunity to actually check whether the 2 is a solution for the equation of equalities. So on A, we have 7x minus 8 is 9. So what we're going to do is say 7. The x is, they're telling us it's 2, so I'm going to plug the 2 in, minus 8. Don't forget to use your parentheses offset so you know what you're doing, is equal to 9. So I have 7 times 2, which is 14, minus 8 is equal to 9. And 14 minus 8 is 6. So 6 is equal to 9, which is not true. That is not a correct. In order for it to be correct, it had to be 9 equals 9. So this is no. 2 does not work in here. The next one, 4 plus 5y is less than 18. So we'll say 4 plus 5, y being 2, is less than 18. Well, what we do, we have now 4 plus 5 times 2, which is 10, is less than 18. So therefore, we have 14 is less than 18. That is a true statement, so yes, 2 would work in that particular problem. Last one here, we have 6n minus 9 is greater than or equal to 2. So we plug in 6 times 2 minus 9 is greater than or equal to 2. And then we have 12 minus 9 is greater than or equal to 2. And the last thing we do is say 3 is greater than or equal to 2. Well, that statement is true, so therefore that would be a yes. Section 1, or Chapter 1, Section 1 continued. They want you to tell if the given number is a solution or not. So here they tell you r is 4, so we plug in 6 times 4 plus 1 is equal to 25. Then 6 times 4 is 24 plus 1 is equal to 25. So is 25 equal to 25? Yes, it is, so this one works. Next one, number 2, we have x squared minus 5 is greater than 10, plug it in. So we have 5 squared minus 5 is greater than 10. 5 squared is 25. Minus 5 is greater than 10. So now I have 25 minus 5, which is 20, is greater than 10. Is that statement true? Yes, it is. So we mark it off. Last one, number 3. They tell us A is 6. So what I have is 7 times 6 is less than 21. So 7 times 6 is 42. And 42 is less than or equal to 21. That is not a true statement. So therefore, that number does not work in that particular one. Solving problems with mental math, basically all they're doing is they want you to figure out, using your brain, not moving numbers around, that type of stuff, what the values would be. So number 1, we're looking, okay, so we look, what plus 6 is 11? So if we say 4, well 6 plus 4 is 10, so it can't be 11. So if I choose 5, and I say 5 plus 6, that is 11. So 11 equals 11. So my answer for this particular one would be 5. Number 2, 18 minus x is equal to 10. So I would think, okay, I need to subtract something to equal 10. So my answer for this one would be 8. What number, number 3, what number times 7 is equal to 56? Well, hopefully you know your times tables, and we would know that this was 8. Number 4, b over 11 is equal to 3. What number can be divided by 11 to equal 3? Well, we know 11's multiples are 11, 22, 33. 33 divided by 11 is 3, so my answer for this one would be 33. Moving on, what plus 9 is 14? Well, I know 6 plus 9 is 15, so basically what I'm going to do is say 5 plus 9 here. Well, 14 is equal to 14, so therefore my answer is going to be 14. A little bit more difficult for number 5. Okay, they want to know what number times 5 minus 4 would be 11. So reasonably, what we're thinking is that we have to get a number that's going to subtract by 4 that is multiplied times 5. So if I say 5 times 1 minus 4, well, that's 1. 5 times 2 is 10, minus 4 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 4, which is 11. So my answer for this one would be 3. And the last one here, y over 4 is equal to 15. Well, what divided by 15 divided by 4 is equal to 15? Well, I start doing my multiplication tables in my head, and what I will come out with is the answer would be 60. Hopefully this does help. I'm not going to do the practice problems at this particular time. You have a great evening or a good afternoon, and I will see you in class next class time.